Welcome to the club.
So let's talk about one of the biggest, most intimidating books ever written, Tolstoy's War and Peace. We're going to crack it open today to tackle a question that's just as real now as it was back in Napoleon's time. This is the real question at the heart of the whole epic. It's not just about grand battles or historical figures. It's about something much more personal. How do you find meaning when the entire world feels like it's falling apart? And Tolstoy, well, he doesn't just hand you a simple answer. Nope. Instead, he gives us three amazing characters, Pierre, Andrei, and Nikolai, and basically throws them into the fire. Each one has to figure it out for themselves. So, let's follow them and see where they end up.
Okay, so our story really kicks off with a reunion, but it's not exactly a happy one. It's more like a collision. Two old friends, Pierre Bezukhov and Andrei Bolkonsky, see each other again, and it becomes immediately clear they are two completely different people now.
So, on one side, you've got Pierre. He's just come back from a trip, and he is buzzing with energy, totally convinced he's figured out the secret to life. And then there's Andrei. After 2 years away, war and personal tragedy have just hollowed him out. Tolstoy says his gaze is dull, dead. All that youthful spirit is gone, replaced by this deep, bitter cynicism.
And this is Andrei's new philosophy, born from all that pain. He's basically decided that trying to help people or change the world is a fool's game that only leads to trouble. So what's his solution? Retreat. Just live for yourself, and your only goal should be to avoid feeling guilty and getting sick. That's it.
Pierre's take is the complete opposite. He's like, "Are you kidding? Living for myself is what almost destroyed me." He argues that he's only found real, actual happiness now that he's dedicated his life to helping other people. It's just this incredible moment, right? Two friends looking at the same broken world and drawing two wildly different conclusions.
So what happened to Pierre? Well, he's discovered Freemasonry. And for him, it's not about any of the conspiracy stuff. It's this powerful idea of a universal brotherhood, a way to live a good life by serving humanity, by being part of something bigger than yourself, this huge, invisible force for good in the world.
And then we get this absolutely beautiful scene. They're on a ferry, crossing a river, and Pierre is making this passionate case for his new beliefs. And Andrei just looks up, and for the first time since he was nearly killed at the Battle of Austerlitz, he really sees the high, eternal sky again. And in that one moment, something inside him that he thought was dead, it starts to wake up. The cynic's armor just starts to crack.
Now, while Pierre and Andrei are wrestling with these huge philosophical questions, our third guy, Nikolai Rostov, thinks he's got it all figured out. We're going to switch gears completely here, from the world of ideas to the battlefield, and the seemingly simple life of a soldier.
See, for Rostov, the answer to all of life's messiness isn't some grand philosophy. It's a simple code. His world is split in two. There's his regiment, and then there's everything else. In the army, you don't have to make tough moral choices. You just follow orders. And that lack of freedom, it's not a prison. It's a comfort. It's clarity.
But there's a problem. This clean, simple world he's built for himself, it's about to slam head first into a very brutal, very messy reality.
And here is that reality. This isn't a combat loss. The regiment has lost nearly half its men, not to the French, but to starvation and sickness. That simple code, do what is ordered, is failing at the most basic level. It can't even keep them fed.
This horrible situation backs Rostov's friend and commander, a guy named Denisov, into a corner. He has to make an impossible choice: follow the rules or save his men.
So here's what happens. His men are literally starving. Denisov finds a food transport that's meant for another regiment, and he just takes it, by force. Now for him, this is an act of loyalty, but for the army, it's mutiny. He chose his men over the regulations, and now he's facing a court-martial for it. Rostov is absolutely horrified. His entire code is built on honor and loyalty, and that code demands he save his friend. He still believes in a kind of personal justice, that a good man can make things right, so he decides he's going to go straight to the top. And this journey just shatters his simple worldview. First, he finds Denisov in this nightmarish field hospital, surrounded by death and despair. Then he travels to Tilsit, where the peace treaty is being signed, and it's this bizarre party. Former enemies are suddenly best friends. He tries to get help from an old, well-connected friend, but he just gets blown off. Every door gets slammed in his face.
So with no other options left, Rostov decides on a final, desperate move. He's going to go straight to Tsar Alexander himself. He puts all his faith into this one idea, that the emperor as a person will understand the situation and make it right.
And for a second, it looks like this crazy plan might actually work. He's waiting outside the Tsar's residence. When a general he knows recognizes him, the general listens, he's sympathetic, and he takes the petition, promising to give it directly to the Tsar. You can just feel Rostov's hope surging.
Okay, this is it, the moment of truth. The emperor comes out, about to leave. Rostov just watches, holding his breath, as his general walks up to the Tsar and makes the case for Denisov. Everything comes down to this one conversation.
And then, the answer comes. And the Tsar says it loud enough for everyone to hear. He doesn't even debate whether Denisov was right or wrong. He just says, "I cannot, General, the law is stronger than I am." It's the ultimate impersonal answer. The system is the system, period.
And that's where we're left. You have Pierre looking for meaning in brotherhood, Andrei trying to find it in isolation, and Rostov, he was looking for it in personal honor and loyalty, and he just hit a brick wall. A system so powerful that even the emperor claims to be its servant. Which leaves us with a much tougher question than the one we started with. How are you supposed to live a good life when the world itself seems built to ignore what's right?